Hey everybody, welcome back to a... Hello there. Before you can start this video, I'm afraid there are 3 barriers you have to pass first. It's nothing extreme, I'm not being gatekeepy, but there are some ground rules that we need to set. Number 1, do you support trans rights, their right to existence, their right to healthcare, anything pro-trans? You should be. You gotta respect the LGBTQs here. If you are against anything rainbow related, then get out. This says spring cleaning. This is the right list. Number 2, you have to be willing to have a civil disagreement with someone. These conversations need to be conducted in a very respectful way. And I have a feeling that some of you snuck past gate 1 without checking it. So I know you're here, but you just gotta play nice. Hey, congrats. Good job. Ow. And now, most importantly, number 3. Do you support your friends? Do you support them in their accomplishments or their decisions? Are you the kind of friend who they can rely on and trust? I know my core audience. I know you guys have probably passed this test. All right, that is the end of the questions. We may now begin the video. Oh, and don't forget to like and subscribe. That's number 4. Hi, I'm Duncan, and welcome back to my support group. The group is just me, and all the support is for you and everyone else. The thumbnail to this video will probably have MrBeast in it because he's related to the story, and MrBeast doesn't have a great track record of appearing on my channel because there's always some kind of discourse tied to him. So I just want you to know that, there will be some, but it won't be that bad. I like talking about him because of the nuance and not the drama, just so we're all clear. In fact, today we're not going to be talking about what he did wrong. We're going to be talking about what he did right. And then what he potentially did wrong. Again, nuance. And I'm well aware that not everyone knows who MrBeast is, so in order not to waste time, we're going to do a quick recap of the talking points. Hi, we're going to do this presentation style because it'll be over quick, and I know a lot of you already know this. Next slide. This is Jim Me Beast Donaldson. Oh no. This is Jim Beast Me Donaldson, who is probably the richest and most powerful creator that YouTube could have ever spawned. Next slide. Oh! Okay, he specializes in these high-budget challenge videos that are always outdoing each other. There's a reason he has... I stepped on the cat. There's a reason he has as many followers as he does. He's legitimately good at the YouTube game. Next slide. You'll usually find a little cluster of people around him. That's his group of friends who are there to elevate the videos, and they always stick by him like minions. Next slide. Like minions in a good way. Like they are there to... MrBeast is a brand, Jimmy's a person, and these are the people who... I stepped on the cat again.
Gay.
These guys act as a supporting cast. They're there to fill in the bits between the challenges. The point is that they're a really good B team, which could be branding for them if they wanted. I didn't say next slide. I don't know if they are in all of his videos or if some are in him, some not. I'm not the most familiar with the MrBeast filmography. I've seen a few of his things, and I've ordered the Beast Burger, but this guy messed it up. I ordered the Karl burger, and that delivery guy canceled halfway through, so I never got to have the Karl burger. I was waiting for 40 minutes. Never came. It's supposed to be like a bit. It didn't happen. Full honesty, I don't really recognize any of them. I know Karl from the burger thing, but other than that, they're Jimmy's B team to me. But it's not super relevant to know the entire identity of this squadron. The people who we're talking about today are MrBeast and his friend Chris. Oh, he's so warped.
Is there a Mrs. Beast?
Okay, finally, we can get to the main story. No more distractions. But first... As I understand it, yes, Chris was in the background of the MrBeast videos, but he was also more in charge of everything going over at Beast Reacts, a runoff of the MrBeast empire. So Chris ended up in front of a lot of longtime subscribers, and no offense to subscribers, especially mine, but you guys can pick up on changes pretty quick. Over time, a lot of these subscribers started noticing little changes in Chris's appearance, like their hair would be longer, or they'd have painted nails, or their fashion taste would flourish a little bit. But that's nothing new to report. That's classic internet boy fashion. That's how we all blend into the wild. So nothing had happened yet, but people were already noticing something about Chris. And as the event happens, yeah, Twitter made it worse. What's the news there? Someone on Twitter posted a side-by-side comparison of Chris back in the cool internet boy attire, and then one more modern screenshot paused with Chris mid-speaking, all with a caption clearly meant to paint it in a negative light. And that whole thing is gross, but the thing that makes me uniquely mad is the whole pausing in the middle of a sentence, because no one looks good in a screenshot if you're on film. Look at all of these. That was from this sentence. But of course, this isn't a story because some random guy decided to take a shot at Chris. The story happens because of how Chris responded. Chris is on HRT, and their bio says that they use any pronouns. They also somehow got the username @Chris, which is crazy because there's got to be a billion Chris's. But what's important is that Chris is trans. Hell yeah, that's great. Congratulations, Chris. And with that news being made official, Chris could post pictures of herself enjoying life and smiling. Look at those smiles. Those are real, I'm happy with myself smiles. He also began openly posting about the process and how it's been affecting him, how this new body feels right and they're on the way to being themselves. And that's what we're fighting for. That's good shit. And there was a ton of support that came in for Chris, which is very nice to see, and especially from Jimmy himself. They're childhood best friends, and this was just a very cute moment. But would you also believe that a bunch of transphobes got angry at this and made it a big deal? Here we go. The expected disgusting posts began flooding in with, the expected hateful talking points, some as external posts, using them as an example, and then some that festered in the comment sections of other tweets. After this became official news on the internet, people started immediately spreading disinformation just because, they wanted to. Thankfully, people are calling them out in the replies, even though it's very easy for someone to see that this is wrong. But it really can't be undersold how off-putting these responses were, and I'm guessing that's because of the exposure this situation has. And that's not surprising, sadly, but what interested me was how many times these comments mentioned MrBeast. This one implies that MrBeast is acting like an antichrist. This one asks parents if they'll allow their kids to keep watching MrBeast. And this one just straight up asks MrBeast to take action against it. And of course, you have your clout goblins who are trying to use this for extremist talking points, kind of like this young man here.
What the fuck happened? The people that are encouraging this, they think that they're doing the right thing. They're all brainwashed. Even MrBeast thinks that he's doing the right thing by supporting his friend Chris. Brainwashed.
In short, loud, angry, and repeating the same talking points we've heard from them a million times as if they're robots. Thankfully, MrBeast taught a lecture at Harvard 2 days later, and the whole discourse cloud that follows him moved on to talk about that. So the attention Chris was getting, thankfully, got diminished a little bit. They're talking about, whether he has the right to, educate people. I don't know. It's Harvard. Who cares? And that's the news. It's the official story. So after I finished learning all of this, I processed it, I thought about it, and I walked away with 3 things that I want to talk about. I'm going to first talk about this first thing, and then when I wrap that up, I'm going to talk about the second thing, and then we're going to move on. Chris is trans. Let's fucking go. I'm still so happy about that. It's really cool. The reason that this is worth celebrating is because when someone is transitioning, it means they're getting closer to becoming who they really feel they are. And that's always a good thing. The idea of overcoming what you start with in order to become who you internally know you exist as is amazing. The fact that humans are able to do that is incredible. I think this should be more celebrated. Humanity 1, gender binary 0. I think that's an achievement. However, the cultural climate is being forcibly bent in a way that where being trans is seen as controversial. Those anti-trans pushes have always been bad, but recently there's been a real panic from a lot of powerful conservatives into pushing it into law, and it's kind of a scary time to be out as trans. With that one, I don't care what side of the political spectrum you're on, but like the country should not be forcing individuals to be who they think they should be. Why is that not the most powerful talking point? The point is, with all of that looming, being trans just inherently comes with a lot more risk right now. It may just be a tweet, but it matters that Chris decided to come out now in this moment, in the face of everything. Especially someone with a public profile with thousands of eyes looking at them. This takes bravery. That could not have been easy, especially knowing that they'd be getting all of this oncoming sludge. So point 1 for me is good for Chris. Good luck to her and her transition. Trans lives matter. And reactionary Twitter sucks. The amount of Joker profile pictures I had to scroll through was embarrassing for me. Hey, trans audience, you guys are brave as hell. Keep it up and be you. You'll always have my support. Okay, bye. Talk to you later. And now, let's get on to the second thing. This. I think that kind of matters. Jimmy is supporting his trans friend, not just in tweet replies, but also in the YouTube's content itself. Of course, it may be a bit of an adjustment for him because apparently there was a moment that people thought exposed Jimmy's real feelings on the matter and they swarmed it like sharks.
I'm just saying the internet makes fun of any change.
Give one example.
Wait, I think I've seen this place before. Give one example.
Name once.
But it's not surprising to see that happen because scandals do well on YouTube, so a lot of people want to turn every little thing into a scandal. It's a tiresome place. Unless there's like real credible evidence, you don't need to buy into any of this. It's just noise. I think that Jimmy and more significantly MrBeast being a public ally to trans people right now of all nows is pretty significant. Because if there's anyone who's being watched, it's him. He has 100 billion subscribers, so people are going to see what he does. And his subscribers, especially the younger ones, are seeing this being modeled for them when they might not see it modeled for them in real life. Some people don't know any trans people, and they could encounter one parent or school teacher who's very transphobic, and suddenly that's their only input on this whole thing. When Jimmy is being accepting to his friend, he's kind of accidentally modeling what accepting trans people is like to hundreds of thousands of people who might not understand it or get it yet. When Chris came out, a portion of Twitter started asking for MrBeast to donate some of his immense wealth towards trans activist and healthcare programs. These people were saying that while being accepting is good, you have to put your money where your mouth is and actually contribute. And some people did twist it, and they made a joke about how he should make a video called "I helped 5,000 people discover their true genders." That one's funny. And I don't know, I do agree that financially supporting a movement is more impactful than just verbally agreeing with it. You can say you're an ally and that you support them, but it just reads off as this kind of like, woo, go team, like, yeah, I'm on your side, I'm rooting for you, but I'm over here. So good luck to you guys. Give me an L, give me a G, give me a B, give me a T, give me... And being an ally just isn't a one and done situation. You can't say I'm an ally and then be an ally forever. I think what it should be is just continuous support, standing up for people, donating towards fundraisers, and just being there for marginalized people for as long as they are under attack, which is kind of looking out to be a long time. Jimmy's tweet was nice, and I really do hope that it inspires a lot of the people who follow him. But at the end of the day, it's just a tweet. I don't think it's anyone's place to demand he do more, but one tweet isn't indicative of one's values, and in this case, actions are going to speak louder than words. Ooh boy, what he said was true for sure, but we got a bit of an update. A video essay / drama channel, Sunny V2, made a video about how Chris becoming trans was, bad for MrBeast's business. And MrBeast responded with another tweet saying, I don't know if I'm going to zoom in on this or just put it over. Yeah, this is getting absurd. Chris isn't my nightmare. He's my fucking friend and things are fine. All this transphobia is starting to piss me off. Now, I know this whole video has been about a one tweet and reply to Chris, but this is another very anti-transphobia tweet from MrBeast, which is something. However, there's a few more things. All this transphobia is starting to piss me off. Starting? I don't fully understand all the details, but there is a phenomena where people will suddenly stop being bigoted against a certain minority group when someone in their lives becomes either trans or lets them know that they are of that group. And then all of a sudden it matters because it relates to them. I've had friends whose parents are slightly conservative, and then when those friends have come out as non-binary or gay, the parents completely switch over. They're like, yeah, whatever you want. Also, Jimmy has been very public about Elon Musk being his icon and inspiration, and Elon Musk is reminding us every day that he's becoming more and more transphobic. Yeah, the phenomena I was talking about can absolutely go in reverse. Elon Musk has a trans daughter, and it just pushed him further and further down the alt-right pipeline. I know that these are just tweets, but it matters that Jimmy is being open about this, because if he wasn't, then it would just be a ton of giant, big figures on this platform being anti-trans. Also, a ton of the replies... Hi, aioli. Also, you have a ton of people trying to dunk on MrBeast in the replies, saying, oh, you used he. But Chris uses those pronouns as well, so... transphobes are stupid, I guess. Alright, that's been the big update. I've been editing Duncan, and let's get back to wherever we were. Being a source of support starts with visibility, but that is step one. And it's not worth nothing because it does do some good, but it's just not worth anything more than that. Sorry. She found me. I think we do need to be picky about who we consider allies, because that's something you don't want to be wrong about. I did not raise you to eat tape. I also don't think that one positive tweet can outdo any kind of harm that you've caused a community, but that's for more intense cases. Hi. I think what Jimmy did here was good, and I really hope he continues to keep that energy up. Okay, third thing. So, it turns out Chris has some pretty indefensible tweets fused to her digital footprint. It's important to note that she has addressed this and apologized and deleted the account those tweets were on. But everything is forever. There were a few transphobic tweets that were brought up, and I feel like you could possibly argue that those were due to some sort of internalized transphobia and bigotry they were raised with coming out, and there's a shred of an argument in their favor there, but that's not the only bigotry in there. They cover most of them. My policy that I default on with these is that it's no one's place to forgive them besides the people that were insulted and affected. But in this case, that includes a lot of people. So that's a mark on their history that probably isn't going away. Taking it further, people have been bringing up old MrBeast clips since he blew up. And of course, they were not flattering. He's saying some slurs, some F-bombs, I don't know, whatever they thought would jeopardize his career. And that's all involved in that discourse cloud I mentioned that just follows him everywhere. It never goes away. It's never affected. It just sits there. So no one's spotless in this situation. And that little curveball does throw a wrench into this video because we were just talking about very specific people who now have another very specific controversy attached. Did I just undo my whole video? God, I hope not. This is why, in this case, I don't really believe this story is affected by who these people are. I think we're at the point of the video where it's time to extract a moral or try to find some takeaway, and I don't think we should get bogged down by the specifics. The point of this video is about visible allyship. It's not about Jimmy or Chris per se. It's about the process between them. I'm asking you to expand this topic beyond that. So from now on, we're done with MrBeast, we're done with Chris, we're done with the Twitter discourse. Someone with a prominent following was publicly supportive of a friend going through a process controversial to some. I hope their following is inspired by their supportive mindset and that they all continue to ally for similar people in more ways. And from that pretentious, existential, big brain take, we can extract our moral. We should all be considerate and supportive to each other, but maybe the people outside of these targeted groups can ask themselves if they can push that allyship just a little bit further. So that's the important lesson we should take from this, but for the sake of the video, let's wrap up this story. Well, I probably shouldn't have combined the complex discussion of allyship with the nuance of MrBeast in one video. That was a pretty tough one. MrBeast is an entertainer. He's kind of proven to us that that's his one thing. MrBeast is a YouTuber. He might be the YouTuber, and we might not be getting pro-trans rhetoric from him all the time. As for Chris, I am still very happy for them in coming out. I hope their transition process continues to go smoothly and she continues to live her best life. And you can't ignore the history. They were kids on the internet way too early, and that's how you get these slur videos and these bad tweets. The reason that is significant to me is you can't divorce the topics here, right? Having a shadow in your past that you may not have fully atoned for is going to affect everything else. On that note, I just hope Chris and Jimmy continue to use their power and influence and money to help with reparations towards those they've insulted. I think that's the most they could do at this point. This is not going to be the last time someone comes out as trans online and there is a wave of hate. That seems to be the pattern we see now, especially online where there's anonymity. The amount of transphobia you're going to see in the replies, it's going to be unfiltered and rampant, especially on Elon's Twitter. The reason that this topic is burrowing out of my head is because I don't think you can be a passive ally to what's happening right now. Trans people need you to fight for them, whether that's online or in your personal lives. No more comfortable allyship from the bleachers, right? You gotta get on the front lines. And whether that's financially donating to mutual aid or trans organizations or actively online getting into arguments, I don't condone that, but stand up for the right people. It's just important for me to reiterate that because, again, you all passed the first gate way back then. You're all pro-trans, but we have to be actively pro-trans. As for the specific topic, I think MrBeast is going to be fine. I think he's going to be fine. Chris continuing to be a group member who's still at the forefront is good, and them taking the charge on Beast Reacts is really great to see. It's very, very affirming to know that they're able to keep that up. So yeah, on the Beast Industries side of things, if they lose 10,000 transphobes, he's not going to notice. Again, he's fine. This process happens a lot online, but this one was special, and I thought that was just important to talk about. I think the final point that I want to land on is that if you resonate with this message and you find yourself on this side, I'm here for you. You're always going to have someone on your side, even if it's just me. And, okay, yeah, there was a fourth thing. In researching this topic, I found this conspiracy that everyone in this group is being influenced to be gay by Karl, the one from the burger. He was just the first one to wear nail polish, and then the others joined in because he got them to be more secure with who they were. And now it's a conspiracy. They think Karl getting everyone to act more gay snowballed into Chris transitioning, and now the whole group is at risk of... Groups on TikTok are calling this the Karl effect. And I swear to God, it's 50% true crime and 50% fan fiction on there. But with Chris transitioning, all these niche audiences who had this, kind of minor conspiracy theory are now introducing it to these broader audiences. And a lot of the conservative ones are believing it. As for the people that are in way too deep, they think that Karl is trying to gay unionize everyone in order to make a power move against Jimmy and take over the brand. This is Succession over subscribers. I'm obsessed with it. They're trying to say this is proof of grooming. They're trying to cite this as a source that gay is transmittable and contagious. It's baffling. All right. Trains rights. Good night. Hi everyone, my name is Duncan, and thank you for watching. Why did I say that? You know my name. Hi everyone, thank you for watching the video. I hope you can hear me over the thousands of birds that were here. We didn't plan on that. And now there's a plane. Yeah, this is pretty unworkable. Thank you for watching the video. I know it was a long one, and so you sticking through it to the very end really does mean a lot. It goes a very long way. Oh, there's a... That dog almost bit my cameraman. An extra special shout out to the patrons who, alright, Grace is filming a squirrel. I guess that does look a little more interesting than what I'm doing, but come on. God, that's a cool squirrel though. This is a very sensitive topic, so if you think you can add anything to the discussion, please contribute in the comments. It would mean a...
He's been talking for 10 minutes now. You would have think he would have got it by now. I think he's questioning why I'm talking.
Feel free to contribute in the comments. Another plane? Alright, this is going to be the last time I ever film outside. I guess to wrap it up, thank you for watching. And I appreciate all of you. And I love you very lots. Oh boy. Thank you so much for watching. I love you lots. Stay safe. Goodbye.